What's shakin'? Hey, I'm Rick Jordan, and today we're going all in. We're going to talk about today, it's a myth, right? People think that in order to get ahead in life, in order to get rich, a lot of times you have to pull back and you have to save on some things. I'm going to give you some ways that I've taken and have actually been proven by a lot of different things. I even saw an article on CNBC the other day, and it actually made me start to think about this too, because whenever somebody starts to have financial difficulties, or if they're like, man, I really want to get ahead this year. Maybe they're doing fine financially, but they're like, I really want to get ahead this year. You start to see things like analyzing your spending. And while that isn't necessarily bad, a lot of times it can go overboard to where you get things like, oh, I'm going to cut out all Starbucks. I'm just going to make coffee at home. I'm not going to splurge on anything right now. It's a temporary sacrifice. And I want you to be aware of these things, because if anybody ever gives you that kind of advice, they are moving into a position of scarcity or trying to move you into this thought process, this mindset of scarcity rather than abundance. So I'm going to give you some ways today to actually get ahead, okay? To actually start going towards some things. Now, the first one that I want to talk about, and I just learned this one probably just a few years ago. There's a difference, because years and years ago, I never really cared about, at one point I transitioned from the scarcity mindset into something to where it was just an abundance mindset, to where I started realizing it's like, you know what? If there's certain things that I want, what if I just went out and made more money to get the things that I want? What if I actually increased my income rather than started pulling back on a lot of these other things? Now, I'm not talking about going through an inventory of things you're actually not using or things you really don't need. I just did that with streaming services, and I know that that's another one. It's like, some people cut out Starbucks, other people will cut out streaming services. I did it because I actually took a look at what I was watching. Because now, back in the days of cord cutting, it was always trying to substitute cable with a low-cost streaming. Simply, I can survive with Netflix, but even that was like, now cable was just price gouging in and of itself, but still, that's besides the point. I went through and I cut, the biggest thing I did was with Disney Plus. I had this bundle, right, with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN. I started looking, it's like nobody within my family would ever watch Hulu, would ever watch ESPN. I'm like, cool. If I'm not doing this to save, it's just literally not being used. Therefore, I don't need to spend the money. There's no use for doing that. It wasn't I was pulling back to save money because I was struggling. It's just like it's not being used. So why do we keep this around? But when you cross into that, you know what, I'm just going to pull back on everything because I think that this is going to be a tough year, or I really want to get ahead this year, so I'm going to sacrifice. That sacrifice is very scary, because when you start to use that word, that I'm going to sacrifice, the other word that starts with S starts to creep in, and that's scarcity. I don't want to see you move into a mindset of scarcity in your life, because if you're looking at the expenses that way, you sure will start to look at income that way, because you will start to find out that you're like, oh, I'm never going to make more, or this is my cap. Or I don't think that I can produce much more. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, or an intrapreneur, or just somebody who works for somebody else, you're always going to look at that as more of a finite number rather than advancing yourself exponentially with your income level. Now, here's how to get ahead. The first way to do this and to actually get rich is to look at your savings rate. Okay? Or now what I mean by savings rate is actually your investment rate. You can put money aside, and everybody needs to have an emergency fund and all that. I'm not going to give you the percentage that you should have, because I'm not that guy. But what I'm telling you is, before you start to cut things, before you start to eliminate, start to focus on what you're actually investing or what you're actually saving, because maybe it's like 4%. That's it, right now, as you look back. But you know what? The difference of 1 percentage point going from like 4% to 5% over a period of 10 years is thousands, if not tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars if it's in the right investments. The difference of that 1% now going from 4% to 5% on your investment rate or your savings rate, how much cash you are taking to put into something, some kind of investment, that 1 percentage point can make thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of difference. So the first thing to do, is not to cut back on things. The first thing to do is look at how much more you can put away. That's the place that you want to start. Or say, I need to achieve this in a couple years. So if I do this quick math and I can bump it up maybe 2 percentage points, it's going to work amazingly. That's the first place to start. Then number 2, the second thing is to actually create like a conscious spending plan. Okay, now this has nothing to do with cutting back on things. You take a look and design what type of lifestyle you want, what types of things you absolutely want to do. Because here's the thing, right? I know this is a big thing. People will say, you know what, I'm just not going to eat out as much because it costs a lot of money. That's scarcity, everybody. That is scarcity. But if you tie it to maybe a goal that you're having and saying, you know what, I'm taking a look at this. I'm eating out like 5 times a week. However, but if I cooked at home more, I could actually control the amount of sodium that I'm intaking. I can control my calories better because I have some fitness goals for myself. So this actually lines up. And you know what? Now it can become more of a fixed cost, which is an important part about a conscious spending plan, are identifying your fixed costs and giving yourself a budget. So therefore, you're not actually pulling back on eating out. You're actually designing a life around a lot of different factors that will bring you fulfillment. A conscious spending plan. That's what I'm talking about right here. Now, that would include your fixed costs. It would include your savings, like we were talking about, your investments, and then also some guilt-free spending. And this part is beautiful. I want you to have this in there, meaning like no matter what, it doesn't matter. I'm going to spend this money because these are things that I like to do. Maybe it is going to the whiskey lounge every Friday night because it's something you enjoy doing. That sounds like something I would enjoy doing. I don't, but maybe I'm going to start it now after I just thought about it right now. But it's guilt-free spending. In order to stay out of a scarcity mindset, you have to build into your life, to your lifestyle, this guilt-free spending. Now, it's okay to put a limit on that because you don't want to go overboard, of course. But whatever you decide, whatever you choose to do for yourself, to just have the lifestyle you want, it has to be guilt-free because you're building what you want and you're allocating portions of what you've already done. It's actually a way to almost celebrate your success and be grateful for what you have every single week of the year because you're like, this is guilt-free. And the reason I can enjoy this guilt-free is because I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing over here. I'm not sacrificing. I'm designing the life I want to. I'm going after the income level that I want to. This is super quick hitting today, but this is the scarcity mindset as you continue through this year. This is going to be a tough year economically. I mean, you see the news about, they've been looming this recession over our heads for months now and saying that it's possible we're going to go into a deeper recession. We haven't seen anything yet and all these things. As long as you have an income and you go through these steps, people are trying to scare you into scarcity right now. That's not the approach because you can take this approach with what you have right now throughout the course of this year and actually have an amazing, fulfilling, and happy year because everything you're doing is building for the lifestyle you want right now and for the lifestyle that you want in your future. So in your finances this year, in the type of lifestyle you want, I'm excited for you because after following these quick steps, you'll be able to go all in.